Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Marissa from The Budgeting Life, and today I'm excited to share with you guys our debt-free story. So everything from how we got into debt, how much debt we had, and then how we were able to pay it off. I am excited to share this video with you guys today, but before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you are new and aren't subscribed yet, go ahead and scroll down and hit that subscribe button. And also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Alright, so our debt-free story starts a lot like most millennial debt-free stories, I feel like, where we got into a ton of student loan debt. So it all started when I was in high school and I was looking to go to college, and I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go, although I knew that I really wanted to go to a private Christian school. I grew up going to public school all my life, and I just really desired to have a Christian education. And with that, I know that Christian universities are very expensive, but I was very set on going to a Christian school, and at the age of 17 I therefore signed my adult self over to going to a Christian school. So I went to a private university here in Oregon, and it was a great experience, but boy was it expensive. And so with the big price tag of the Christian school that I attended came a lot of student loan debt. And at the time, being 17, when I just decided to go to college, I didn't really know what all of that meant of, student loans and interest rates and what kinds of student loans. So I ended up taking out federal student loans as well as a private student loan to cover the cost of my education for the year. I did have some scholarships, but unfortunately scholarships weren't enough to cover the entire cost, so I ended up taking on a lot of student loans. And with that, I figured that that's just what everyone else did. I know so many people who had student loans, and it just seemed like, oh, you take out student loans and you'll pay them off in 15 years, once you're established in your career and all that stuff. And so into my freshman year of college, I began to feel a little bit nervous about the student debt that I was taking on, realizing that with my first year of college, I was already taking on over $10,000 of student loan debt. I think it was closer to $15,000 my first year of college, which was a lot. And it began to make me a little bit nervous. So I started trying to figure out what I could do to minimize the student loans that I was taking out. And so with that, I tried to figure out how I could graduate early. I had taken some classes in high school that gave me some college credit, and so that became really helpful in helping me be able to get some college credits so that I could graduate sooner. I also then looked into taking summer online classes so that I could get ahead and just be able to graduate even sooner. So with that, I took a couple online classes through a local community college during the summer of my first year of college. After my first year of college, during that summer, I took some online classes. And then into my sophomore year of college, I just took a really full load. I took a ton of classes, and that was kind of my sophomore, junior-ish year. And so I was just taking a really heavy load, trying to get as many classes as I, could get done so that I could graduate early. And in my second year of college, I ended up taking FPU, Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University class, and I actually got to take that for college credit, which was awesome. And I even got to take it with my husband, who at the time was just my boyfriend, but we got to take that together in college for credit. And Dave Ramsey's FPU class was really helpful, and it provided a lot of great tools. A lot of those things were already things that I knew, knowing that I probably shouldn't be taking on this much debt, but I was just trying to do what I could to get through college. But it provided a lot of insight on how to budget and just like what next steps would be after I graduated from college, with saving for an emergency fund and how to invest and do all that. But before I even took the class, I knew that I wanted to get rid of my student loans. So after my second year of college, my boyfriend Jacob had graduated from college. He was done, and I still had one more year because I was able to take all of those classes and was on the track to graduate early. So he graduated, and I still had one more year of college left. And again, I was still trying to find ways that I could save money while in college. So another thing that I did was I became a resident assistant, or an RA, for my senior year. So I lived in the dorms and I got to oversee a hall of about 20 girls, which they were the most fabulous group of women. I just absolutely loved my time as an RA, and it also came with a great scholarship. So that was really helpful in my third year of college, my senior year, of being able to save a lot of money and just have an extra scholarship. So therefore I had to take out very little student loans that year. And that was really helpful in just helping me to not take on as much student loan debt as I thought I was going to have to during my college career. So I ended up graduating in May 2015 with my bachelor's in business accounting, and I was very eager to start getting a real job, get working. When I was in college, I did some summer internship things, and I definitely worked during the summer to have that income, and I put it all straight to school in the fall, but it was exciting to be able to start working right when I got done with my degree. So before I had even graduated college, I was applying to places. I had interviews. I ended up getting a job already secured about a month before I graduated, which was really great. And so I started my first big girl real job in accounting 3 days after graduation. So graduated, packed up all my stuff, went home, and then started work right away. At that time, Jacob and I were engaged. I guess I kind of missed that part. We got engaged during my senior year of college, but so I was working, we were engaged, I was planning a wedding, and living at home, and so therefore every dime that I made when I was living at home and still single, for those few months, I put straight to my loans. It just had nothing else to spend it on, so I just put it straight to my loans. And then in July 2015, Jacob and I got married, and at that point, we combined all of our finances. Jacob and I had a wonderful wedding in July. It was the most wonderful day ever. Absolutely loved it. And then we got to go on our honeymoon, which we went to Disney Aulani in Hawaii. I know it was pretty awesome, which his parents very kindly covered. And it was the most amazing honeymoon. We absolutely enjoyed ourselves so much. But we came home and then just realized like how poor we were. Or I guess we didn't even know, because we didn't have a budget. We didn't know like necessarily where we were financially, since we were now married. But so I remember we came home from our honeymoon, and the first thing we did was we went to Winco, local grocery store, and we shopped bulk for literally beans and rice. Like, we thought that we were like so poor we could only eat beans and rice. And so we got all of our little necessities and we went home, and then we started really making our budget and figuring out what our household budget would be. Jacob was also working. We actually worked at the same place, which was pretty awesome for our first year of marriage. So we knew our income, and we sat down and tried to like lay out all of our expenses. And it's hard once you first get married and you're transitioning into figuring out what your household budget will be. So I know it takes a few months for that to get sorted out, but we sat down and we made a budget and we figured out how much we could put to our loans. We both knew that we wanted to pay off our debt as soon as possible. Jacob had about $40,000 from school, and I had about $40,000 from school when we graduated. It was initially $80,000. So we sat down and made our budget and figured out how much we could put to our loans each month. And with that, we thought that it would take us about 4 years to pay off our entire debt. So our first year of marriage was pretty simple. Like I said, we worked at the same place. Our company actually paid for us to take public transportation, so we took public transportation to and from work, which therefore we only spent about $50 a month on gas, just going to the store and to visit our parents and do things like that. So we were just super frugal. We didn't eat out. We drove 20-year-old cars, took public transportation as much as we could, and we just really worked a lot and just put every extra dime that we could to our student loans. We also rented a small one-bedroom apartment. It was about 700 square feet, absolutely nothing fancy, but lived there, had a kitchen, was able to cook, do all that stuff. Pretty simple. And we also didn't go on any vacations. That was definitely a no when we were being so frugal and trying to pay off our debt as soon as possible. So it comes to be July 2016, and our rent was going up. And it was going up about $200 a month, which was just like crazy. And my parents very kindly offered for us to move in with them to pay off our student loans faster. So we took them up on that offer and we moved in with my parents. We still paid them rent, but just a lesser amount. And that was super helpful in enabling us to get ahead with our finances. So during that time, we actually both changed jobs and taking on jobs that paid more than our previous ones, which is really helpful. I even took on a side hustle, an extra gig that I could do from home, actually, that generated extra income that we could put to our loans. And besides that, we are still living the same way as we did our first year of marriage. So no vacations, no eating out, driving 20-year-old cars, all the same things that we were doing before we did during our second year of marriage when we lived with my parents. We still bought all of our groceries and we did a lot of meal planning. But all of this really added up. All those little things, no Starbucks, no eating out, all those things just really added up for us, which enabled us to put about 70% of our income straight to our loans. And I will say that living with my parents for that season was so helpful. We lived there for about 14 months, but that was what was really the game changer that allowed us to pay off all of our loans so quickly. Like I said, we put about 70% of our income every month straight to our loans. And then come our start of our third year of marriage, we were so close to paying off our debt. And we knew that it was going to be within a few months. We ended up paying off our debt in October 2017, and we paid off a total of $87,000 of student loan debt. Oh my gosh, it was a lot. And we paid it off in about a total of 2.5 years. And after we finished paying off our debt, we went on a cruise, which was so much fun. It was a great way to celebrate all that we had accomplished and everything that we had sacrificed during those 2.5 years, as we lived very simply and very frugally, gave up a lot. It was really nice to just be able to enjoy ourselves and have a vacation once our loans were all paid off. After we came back from our vacation, we knew that we weren't going to live with my parents for forever, so we started looking for apartments. And we ended up finding the apartment that we're in now, which we absolutely love, and we moved here in November of 2017. So just about a month after we paid off our debt, we moved out, and now obviously we can't put 70% of our income to our next financial goal because we are paying more for where we're living, but we are still able to put a good chunk of our income each month toward our financial goals, which our financial goal right now is to save for an emergency fund. We're almost there. I think we'll be done in about June. We'll be done with our full emergency fund, and then working on things like saving for a house. We really want to have a house someday, but for right now, we're perfectly content with renting our apartment. So it's been so awesome to just look back at, where we were when I was, graduating high school, trying to figure out where I was going to go to school, taking on all this debt. And then when we got married, of just living super frugally and paying it all off. And if there's anything that I can tell you if you're going through the same thing, is that it's totally worth it. I am just so relieved that we now no longer have any debt payments that are hanging over our heads, and that we just get to enjoy our money the way that we want. Obviously, we're still being wise with it and making financial decisions that will be great for the future of our family, but it's just so wonderful just knowing that we don't owe anyone anything and that we are debt free. So you guys, I hope that this is an encouragement to you if you are on your financial journey as well, of paying off your debt and working towards your financial goals. Just know you will get there. It may take some time, but you will get there. And so making small sacrifices really add up. And it, again, guys, it's totally worth it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know where you're at with your debt-free journey. Are you paid off your debt? Are you working on it? Where are you guys at with that? I'd love to see what you guys are working on. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos on personal finance and life. And it's totally possible to live a fun, frugal, and debt-free life. And I want to convey that to you guys. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.